Hey there, Sabine here. Hope you're having a great day. Back with day 22 of the 90-day visibility challenge. And the thing that I want to share today is really centered around reframing our questions to the situations that we experience and to what life brings us. And so, to give you the backdrop, I was having a conversation with a client recently, and they were referencing a situation that they were experiencing and also made mention that they had experienced similar things at another organization that they worked with. And so we talked through that and kind of worked through that so that she was able to gain some clarity around how to navigate that situation right now, present day. And then it just got me to thinking about, just situations in my past life that felt cyclical, right? So like it felt like deja vu. It may have been a different cast member, it may have been different scenery, but nonetheless, the challenge in that situation felt very similar. And so there's this very present situation that I am facing, that I'm navigating, or at least I thought I was navigating. But as I started to think about our conversation and where that went for her clarity, I started to ask myself, well, why do I first and foremost find this situation challenging? What about this is actually really challenging? And so I'm going through this stream of thought. And then I finally got to a place where what I heard was, you're asking the wrong questions. And so I was like, all right, here we are again. I'm asking the wrong questions. What might be the right questions? As someone who subscribes to the belief that we create our own reality and that we are not really victims of circumstance, meaning that there are things that may happen that are out of our control, but on some level, we are still co-creators in that. So knowing that, believing that, I took a step back and I looked at my current situation. And rather than saying, okay, well, why is this happening? How much longer am I going to have to deal with this? What is the answer? When is the answer coming? Or from who is the answer coming? I shifted the questions, and the three questions that came to mind were, for what purpose have I created this particular situation? I didn't reference it as a challenge, but situation. The second question was, what was I hoping to gain as a result of experiencing this particular situation? And then the last question is, what is the blessing that I can find in this particular situation? And so, those questions came to me, and then I actually took the time to sit and journal them. And what came up was crazy, in a good way, in a very, very good way. But I share this to share that, again, sometimes we experience things and we think it's outside of our control, or we are we're challenged by people, by life situations and circumstances, and we may be trying to fix the situation, we may be trying to run away from the situation, we may be trying to ignore that the situation exists altogether, but what you resist persists. And so for many of you, anything that you are trying to ignore or run away from, it only gets louder, or it only feels like it gets more intense. And so what I'm inviting you today is to use those three questions that I was led to. For what purpose have I created this situation? What was I hoping to gain from this particular situation? And what is the blessing that I can find out of the situation? Not only is getting the answers to that question powerful, but it moves you from that seat of victim and life is happening to me, or they are doing this to me, to that position of power in which you can now decide to experience something different. I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, but this is how we start to build our own internal self-trust, our own agency, really lean into the power that we've been given. So that's my invitation for you today. There's a reflection question in the captions. I invite you to share down in the comments. If not, feel free to grab it and journal, or at the very least, the three questions that I've shared in this video. With that, have a great rest of the day, and we will talk soon. Take care.